Okay, let's see if I can do a halfway decent job of showing you this thing. It is super dusty right now. I was going to try to wash it before I showed it to you. It's been sitting here for about 6 months while I waited on those seat covers to be made with no seats in it. So yeah, so it's dusty, but it cleans up well, and there's not. I'll try to point out any imperfections that I'm aware of on the car, so that you're aware. Just, I want as much full disclosure as I can, so you know exactly what you're getting. But anyway, I guess I'll start at the front, and we'll work our way back, and I'll kind of tell you everything that I can think of and remember that we've done to it, and show you all the things that you might want to know about. So up here, there is, as you can see, a tow hook. This has that's a C7 tow hook that is removable. It just screws in and out. You can see the receiver in there, so you can remove that if you want. There's also one on the rear that I'll show you as well. The headlights, so C3 Corvettes are mostly vacuum. All the accessories operate off vacuum, and all that's been removed on this car. It's all electronic. So the front headlights are powered by electricity. You don't have to have the car running like you do on a normal C3. I don't remember if we used the Detroit Speed kit or if we actually made the kit that we used. Let me see if you can actually even see them. That's all the linkage and everything down there. You can see it's all nice and clean and new. Harnesses are all brand new. Everything is clean. There's the motor that operates the headlights. Let me turn those on so you can see it. So you can see they power up electronically. This car has Dapper 575 LED headlights, high beam and low beam. They are no halos. Same thing that's in my Chevelle, actually, the exact same headlight. I don't like the halo look. These are just regular projectors with a black background and LED bulbs, both low beam and high beam. So I think they look really good. They work really well if you ever drive the car at night. You turn them off, factory headlight switch. Simple as that. Under the hood, so this is it has a Corvette LT4 blower lid, but it's actually the Camaro ZL1 or Cadillac CTS-V engine, the LT4 out of that. The big difference being wet sump versus dry sump. This is a wet sump engine. When we built this car, there were no other C3s with an LT4 on the market. So pretty much everything had to be custom fabricated. The whole front accessory drive is a custom one-off deal from Custom Image Corvettes. They built the brackets. Between them and we came up with a solution for pulleys. It uses, I can get you the list of the different parts that we used if you ever need it, but I think it has like a GT500 pulley, tensioner rather, and then just a bunch of different idlers to make it all work. It's all one big belt. The normal car uses two belts for the supercharger and the AC. We had a little bit of issues in the beginning, but we modified it and it works perfect now. There is a DeWitt's aluminum radiator with electric fans. Everything under here is really clean. Before we even did this car, I had a guy that's taken a little bit of abuse. You can see a few nicks and scratches on it, but the firewall on this car is super, super smooth, and it extends into the inner fenders, and it's all hidden by hoses and everything now, but it is all incredibly clean. If you ever look at a C2 or C3 Corvette, the firewall is usually very, very rough. The fiberglass, it's just it's just rough. They don't finish it out. So this has all been sanded and painted, and it's super clean. So manual brakes. I had power brakes on this car. I went to Hydro Boost. I had an issue back when I used to race it. So I converted it to manual. I don't have any issue with it. You don't have to stand on the pedal. Personally, you get a little bit better pedal feel in my opinion, so that's why I did it. Easy to swap if you ever wanted to, but it's a project, so I don't think you'll have any issues or complaints, but just know that that is a manual master cylinder there. Custom long tube side pipes. These had to be handmade. Again, there was nothing on the market. I don't know that there is even today, other than the company that made these. And I had them ceramic coated inside and out. So as I told you before, when this car is running, you can touch the side pipe with your hand after driving it, and it's warm, but it won't burn you. Normal car with side pipes, you'll melt the skin off your leg. Actually, I have a scar or two from a buddy's car to show for that. So the big thing with the LT4 is they don't come with power steering. It's electric power steering on the new cars, the modern cars. So you have to come up with a way to get manual pump on there, and that's what that is. This car has a Borgeson power steering box. That's what that is there. It's, I guess, the modern upgrade you can do for these if you don't do a rack and pinion. A lot of people use it. It's a popular upgrade for a C3. This car has, there's a RideTech brace that connects the, you can sort of see, let's see, there's two bolts, one there and one there. So there's a brace that goes down to the frame that keeps that from flexing if you autocross the car or race it or drive it really hard. With a 315 tire on the front, it just puts a lot of stress on everything. So yeah, up front, so that is the intercooler in front of the radiator. Again, custom piece that we had to make and mount, but it works. Temps stay good on this car. Really no issues. The pump, the intercooler pump, is down there. You can see it. That's the intercooler pump. Yeah, there is the radiator overflow. That's from a big block car that we just modified to use on this car. The computer, the factory computer, is, if I can zoom in here, is straight there, mounted to the inner fender. So it's not inside the car. There's not a ton of room behind the dash on these cars, so that was the best place to put it since this car has aftermarket air conditioning. Let me move around to the other side. One of the things I wanted, so this car is painted in indigo ink pearl. That is a Toyota Lexus color that a lot of Cobra guys tend to use as well. It has a lot of C7 tie-ins. So this center stripe is actually called Carbon Flash Metallic. That is the color that they used on the C7 if it was not carbon fiber, but it looked black. It was actually painted this color. So it's really kind of a charcoaly gray, black. And then obviously the track spec hood vent to get some of that heat out of the hood. Clearly these were custom made. Had a guy, I think he's actually down in Florida, made these covers, the coil covers. They had to be trimmed a little bit to fit this car, but they're painted the same color, and that's the C3 cross flag that, actually I think we've deleted almost all of those from the car. The gas cap still has it. There's usually one on the nose, but I have that deleted. So anyway, it's those same cross flags. Under the hood, again, is usually super rough. Hopefully you can see in the video, but it's really smooth and nice and slick. Sanded and painted fiberglass. The hood fits really well. It's an aftermarket hood. I think it's an ACP hood, but the body gaps are perfect. Yeah, it fits really, really nice. So I think that's about it under the hood. There are, well, I'll talk about the suspension in a little bit, but there are the reservoirs for the Tractive shocks by RideTech. Those are, you don't have to do anything to them. You don't adjust them. It's not like normal double or triple adjustable shocks. Those are just the reservoirs. You should not have to touch those pretty much at all. Again, on a normal C3, you would have a big canister right here for a vacuum canister. That's been deleted. This I know is a Detroit Speed part. I think it says DSE. It does. I can't get it to focus, but it says it at the bottom. DSE, so that is an electric wiper door conversion. So the wipers are hidden underneath this panel. It pops up, wipers go. When you turn them off, it then closes flush with the car. It's actually a really neat, I don't know, it's one of the little things that I think is just really cool about these cars that you don't see on any of the other 68, 72 cars from GM or any of the other manufacturers really. So yeah. What else? So I guess we can look at the wheels. These are Forgeline MLC3 wheels, 18 by 11 in the front and 18 by 12 in the rear. I have Willwood disc brakes on this car. These are not just show brakes. These brakes were actually purchased because of the ability they have to withstand heat when racing. They have different pistons inside. I believe there's anti-knockback springs. Again, things that are important when you race the car. It doesn't really matter so much if you're just, cruising around, but really good brakes, front and rear. They don't make, I don't think they make them in this nickel color anymore. So it's in sort of my arena, it's a brake that people really struggle to find and strive to find. So I'll put this car on a lift at some times so you can see it, but really the only damage, there's some pitting, there's some mud apparently too, but some pitting on the side pipes right here from the tire. You can sort of see that in the photos there. Really nice everywhere else. You have to kind of get down here to see the pitting, and they're dirty too, which doesn't help, but that's really about the only damage. If you look like inside the wheel well, I can show you like the paint and everything in here is really nice other than being dirty. No rock chips or anything. That's dirt right there. Everything's clean inside. The wheel wells are painted. And so one thing that I don't even know about this car, about 80% of it is clear filmed. I had it done by a company in Ohio. So let me tell you the things that are not clear filmed, and then I'll kind of show you. So half of the door up is not clear filmed. There's a seam right here. Let's see if I can get you to see that seam. There's some dust in it, so it makes it easier. So the upper half does not have clear film. This seam here, the full quarter is done. So from this seam, this roof panel and the rear deck panel does not have clear film. Full quarters, T-tops, bottom of the doors, has a mirror cup, so it's like the front half. Full fenders, they did a fantastic job. So this is one piece, you can't see a seam. There are no seams here. The seam is, let's see if I can get it to focus. It's in here on the in the lip of the fender, which I don't think it'll focus right now in the light, but so it wraps all the way around to the front, still one full piece, and they did the seam right here in the middle. And there you can sort of see the seam there. Again, it's kind of dirty. When it's clean or you back up more than 2 feet, it completely goes away. Headlights are filmed. The whole hood is filmed, all clear film from, I'm trying to think of the company that did it. I'll get back with you. They do some high-end stuff up in Ohio. So anyway, something I wish I had on my Chevelle, but was done on this car before I ever even drove it. So Again, the forge line wheels on the rear, really deep dish wheel. Again, Willwood 4-piston calipers on the back. ARP hardware. This car has RideTech Track 1 suspension. So it is basically in the front a C7 spindle. It is. It's a SpeedTech upper. Let me try to remember. No, it's not SpeedTech. It used to have a SpeedTech spindle. Now it is a RideTech modular aluminum spindle with a C7 hub. In the rear, it's another C7 hub and I can kind of show you back here. It is an independent 9-inch, which is pretty rare on these cars. You can see some better photos in the Super Chevy stuff, but it is all super clean, really nice. It's dark. I should have grabbed a flashlight, sorry. There you can see the stainless VaporWorks tank. With this fuel tank has a pickup on each side, again for racing. That way if the fuel sloshes to one side or the other, there's a pickup on each side. It's not just a bucket in the middle that most cars have actually. It's just common. So again, no adjustments. There's the reservoirs for the shocks. It's all done electronically through a laptop, and I'll show you a little bit of that. Spline sway bars, you know, the best of the best. If RideTech made a part for this car, they knew I wanted it as soon as it came off, or as soon as they put it into production and stopped testing. So this car has everything from RideTech's catalog on it at this point, as far as I'm aware. Little custom thing we did back here. I'll show you in a second. Anyway, there's Quick Connect here for charging. A lot of race cars use that, and when they plug in and go to the trailer. This center hole, if you can see it, that is the rear tow hook. So you can flip the license plate up, screw in your rear tow hook. Again, it's a C7 tow hook, if you ever needed it or wanted it. A lot of the events that I did required tow hooks front and rear, so that was the way around it, and it made it where it was hidden out of sight, you know, when we weren't racing the car, because it's a street car after all. And the way that was done is, you can see this big bar braces up to the frame and then goes back here and again ties into the frame there, just for added stability. I have my battery tender just clipped on the terminals back here. It's just easier, but you know, you can do it either way. Fuel door, nothing special there, you know, OEM gas cap. Rear window is Lexan, so you have to be careful it doesn't scratch too much. It will scratch, I guarantee it. There's probably some swirls in it. I think I may have a glass window somewhere. This was just a little bit easier, a little bit more durable. I actually had a back window break on me at some point, so we put this in and we built the car, and I haven't really had any complaints or issues with it. I don't take it in and out. It is removable, as are the T-tops, obviously, but I don't take it in and out of the car. There's been no reason for me to. C6 side mirrors. This has been one of the most controversial things I think I've done on the car, apparently. Online, you'll get people who either love them or hate them. They work so much better than the factory mirror, and I think they look good. I think they work with the car. That's my opinion, but anyway, that's probably the biggest thing that has been controversial. Just don't hit anything here. No seats. The seats are actually, well, the seats that were in it are sitting up there. Those are the Corbeau A4s that I had, and the other seats are in boxes over by my truck on the other side of the shop. So this is the interior. Let me see if I can get a flashlight. Hang on for 1 minute. Just you can see a little bit. Sorry about that. I'll open this door too. So that's all painter's tape, just so I didn't scratch anything taking the seats in or out. It has, I think these are Ring Brothers door strikers. It's a dumb little option or feature or whatever. They're nice. They're aluminum. They look good. Well, I'll keep down in here. The box is the 3-point seats, or seat belts rather. So you can sort it. Well, this is actually out of a Camaro, so I was trying to adapt it, but basically the seat belt mounts up there and then down there, and then it creates a 3-point that goes to that point. So you have a more modern seat belt in it. The factory seat belts had a kind of a 3-point, but it's they disconnected at the harness. It was really weird, and they didn't work super well. I have not had factory belts in this car in, I don't know, 9 years maybe. So there was a racing harness bar back here in the back, which I'll give you. It still has the ability to mount to it. There is one bracket here. The other one, I think, mounts down here, if I remember correctly. And then it mounts right there, which is where the factory retractable belt goes. So as you can see, there's a speaker box in the rear. It has Alpine Type R speakers. Those are 6x9s. That's a shallow 12-inch sub, another 6x9. This box out of the way. There is the amp. It's an Alpine 5.1 channel amp in that box. Wiring could be cleaned up a little bit, but honestly, the wires just need shortened and zip tied together, and that whole thing would look 10 times cleaner. In the center compartment, sorry, I'm moving everything out of the way. You have, so this is the suspension controller, and this is the wire that's sort of just wound up in here. USB connects to your computer, and that is how you make adjustments to the suspension. It's all done electronically. It all plugs in right there. So that goes there. And then in the driver's side compartment is the Optima yellow top battery. You can see 419, so it's relatively new. Been kept on a tender. And all the wiring that comes in from the back of the car. Pretty straightforward. All right, let me go to the driver's side. Okay. You can almost sit in this car without a seat. So, NRG quick release hub on the steering wheel. That's in. Tilt, so it has, who makes this steering wheel or this column? Flaming River, I think, is who we used. It has tilt, just like a normal, like you expect in any other steering column. Excuse me. The big difference is that it's brand new, so not rebuilt. No junk parts inside. Everything works like it's supposed to. Actually, you need a key. So this car, let's see if this one works. Perfect. Keyless, power locks, power windows, and touch button start, which is pretty neat. That was one of the things we did recently. This is a proximity key like you'd have in a new car. It does not unlock on proximity. It just doesn't have the touch there. It does lock and unlock with, like a normal keyless entry car, but the key fob has proximity, and there is no physical key. It is touch button start. To start the car, you need foot on the brake and the clutch end, and obviously it in neutral. And then you have to, it's a weird sequence, but you have to touch the key 3 times or touch the button 3 times. I think it cycles through accessory and on and then ignition or something like that. So you 1, 2, 3 and hold it, and the car will turn over and then start. Anyway, it's kind of a goofy system. It's not as intuitive as a new car, but still pretty neat. So I have not started this car in quite a while, so hopefully it'll start right up. If we have any issues, we'll address them, but anyway, let's give it a start. It is completely cold. Again, like I said, I have not started this car in months, so let's see what it does. Oh, I take that back on the 1, 2, 3 thing. I think you just touch and hold. Yeah. I have no idea if you can hear me, but it's been running, I don't know, what, 10, 15 seconds, and it's already idling down to about 800, 700 or so. I'm sitting here with the windows obviously down and the side pipes right there, and I can have a conversation if we close the doors and roll up the windows. I'm not sure how much that helped. Even the T-tops are not even sealed right now. They're open, but yeah, hopefully you can tell it's quiet, relatively quiet. So yeah, super nice car. I love it. So hold on. To turn the car off, so it's green. It's 3 taps to turn it off. That's what it is. 1, 2, 3. Car turns off. Now it's red. Windows back down. Open the door. Nothing. Okay, so about the most unique thing in here is the wipers. Again, it's Detroit Speed. Everything operates off of this. It remember how it works. Okay, so it doesn't, on a factory car it slides. This one turns, so it has intermittent turn like that. To do your different speeds, you know, whether you want slow, intermittent, or all the way up to high or whatever. So but you do have push for the washer. I don't even think there's fluid in it to let that work. The fiber optics work on the car, if you can see that. So that's off. My foot's off the brake, foot's on the brake. If I turn on the headlights, you can see the license plate light works. Let's see if I can turn signal, left turn signal, right turn signal. Up here, where's that on the camera? There's right turn signal, left turn signal. Headlights don't work because they're LED. That's the only thing that I used to have low beam and high beam as well, but those don't light up. So just because of the type of headlights that are on it. These are Dakota Digital HDX gauges. So you can sort of customize what you want each of those 4 electronic displays to show within whatever parameters they have anyway. I like them. I think you can change the needle colors and the numbers and all that as well. Again, that can be done through an app. It's pretty simple once you download the app. But I have it sort of matching the radio, and obviously blue matches the car, so I thought that was kind of neat. Turn all this off. Again, red light turns it off. Don't leave this key in the car. It will kill the key fob battery, apparently. So just tip there. Windows are tinted. Even the front window is tinted. The side windows are tinted, and the back Lexan is tinted. Again, if you wanted to remove the window, there's that clip and that clip, and it probably won't pop right out. If I touched it from the other side, it would just fall forward, and there's pins there and pins there, and the window would come out. Again, it's kind of stuck in because I don't take it out, and yeah, I just rather it not. Oh, here's something I want you to see. So this is a, let me zoom out. This is a factory roof. Over here is not a factory roof. That is some felt that I put in so that my helmet would clear when I race the car. With that in, you lose about 1.5 inches. With this in, I have plenty of room. You really don't notice it. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Clearly a difference, but you can buy these panels. They just screw right in or pop right in. I think it's held in with some clips. If it bothers you, or if you know, well, there's a wrinkle, like it's not perfect, but it's what worked for me. I don't have that panel anymore. I think it actually was cracked, and part of the reason why I took it out in the first place. So, what else would you like to see? I'm trying to think of anything that would be helpful. 6-speed, so it has a Tremec T56 Magnum from Silver Sport Transmissions, a super close ratio shifter. It is incredibly tight, it's like a rifle, I guess, if you were racking the bolt. It's very close. It works really well. Here, there's USB, vintage air. I think it's vintage, maybe it's classic auto air, but AC in the car that blows incredibly cold. Which will be nice in Florida. This cab is so small and the tinted windows, and it's pretty well insulated that it gets really cold in here, which I loved. My Chevelle unfortunately has almost the same AC and does not get nearly as cold. Driving this car in the summer was super nice. Door panels, so these are normally like a cheap wood grain. I think this is from maybe a later gen, so this is black now. Just looks a little bit better. You know, normal lock unlock. Again, there's power on the remote, but inside the car it's still, you know, normal lock unlock with power windows in the middle. I think that's it for now. I want you to see again underneath the car. Gaps, door gaps, everything. Super nice, super straight. Yeah, it's a nice car. Like I said before, I'm not super excited to see it leave. Oh, here's something. Taillights have LEDs. Turn those on. They bleed over a little bit, but there's LED rings inside each of them. Kind of like the C6 had, with the center lights up when the brakes are on. But again, just little touches. Yeah, I wasn't super happy to sell this car, which is why I wasn't really trying to haggle on the price or negotiate too much, because I don't know, it's a pretty car. One I was very happy with. I mean, I have photos of it hanging in my shop. Not one I'll be thrilled to see leave, to be entirely honest, but you know, can always build another one at some point, or who knows, do something completely different. Part of the reason why I'm okay letting it go is I haven't driven it in 6 months. I have driven this car, and that car is one that won't leave, but I have not driven this car, and I think that's part of it. So anyway, I think I'll end it there. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to get you some photos or better video or something. If you missed anything or I didn't show you something, let me know. I'm sure there's tons of things on the car that I didn't cover and you may want to see, but I want you to see the underneath as well. It's pretty much the same as the top. It's clean, nothing real special. The suspension is super nice on it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as imperfections go, there's very few. There's a couple, I don't even know if I can get it. Like I just sat here and saw it. There's a ripple somewhere. Where'd it go? Can't see it as I'm here. It's somewhere in this area. I saw a little bit of a ripple in the paint. Just being a fiberglass car, I guess that's sort of common. When they did these flares, it's basically a full quarter. So it goes to the bonding strip and all the way down. So this whole piece gets replaced, I think, from back here to where the ripple is, honestly. And same on the front, they cut it all the way to the bonding strip. I don't know if they go around the vent or not, I don't remember. But it is, full quarters, so, or full fenders and full quarters. But they did a really nice job. They actually, when they put these quarters or these flares on the car, they did it around this wheel. So they fit it to this specific build. It's not just a one-off or a off-the-shelf thing. So anyway, all right, well, I'm done rambling. Text me, call me, message me. Let me know what I missed or what you want to see. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. Hopefully this video is not too big to send. We'll talk soon. See ya.